Unmasking the shadows, recognizing and protecting yourself from manipulative individuals. Have you ever encountered an individual whose mere presence seemed to sap your energy, subtly manipulate your emotions, or leave a trail of chaos in their wake? It's a disquieting reality that evil, a concept often relegated to myths and movies, exists in the real world, often operating in subtle and insidious ways. These individuals rarely announce their intentions with overt displays of malice, but their actions, often cloaked in charm or veiled under the guise of helpfulness, betray their true nature. They manipulate, exploit kindness, and leave emotional wreckage in their path. The good news is, you don't need to be a master detective to discern these warning signs. Ancient Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, have gifted us with timeless wisdom on how to identify such individuals and, crucially, how to safeguard ourselves against their damaging influence. This comprehensive exploration will delve into 10 evident signs that indicate you may be dealing with a manipulative or malevolent person, signs that, once recognized, can empower you to maintain your peace, protect your energy, and navigate the world with greater clarity and confidence. Through a blend of insightful observation, practical advice, and Stoic principles, we'll learn how to unmask these individuals, understand their tactics, and fortify our defenses against their influence. Get ready to embark on a journey of self-empowerment, where awareness becomes your shield and wisdom your guiding light. Let's begin. 10 evident signs of manipulative individuals. Constant manipulation, the art of distorting reality. He who has many fears also has many things to manipulate, Seneca wisely noted. This isn't just an observation, it's a stark warning about the insidious power of manipulation in the hands of malicious individuals. These individuals don't thrive on integrity or honesty, they flourish by distorting reality, weaving intricate webs of deceit, and turning lies into their most effective weapon. They are masters of psychological manipulation, subtly shifting perceptions to gain control. I recall a time when I worked alongside a colleague I initially trusted implicitly. He was remarkably skillful at praising me publicly, making me feel genuinely recognized and valued within the team. However, behind the scenes, a disturbing pattern began to emerge. He subtly spun narratives, quietly undermining my work, and inflating minor mistakes into major issues for the management. His actions, seemingly innocuous at first, created an atmosphere of doubt and suspicion around me. When I finally sensed that something was amiss and decided to confront him directly, his response was unnervingly calm and collected. He claimed he was merely helping me improve, a statement that was both disingenuous and deeply unsettling. It made me question myself. Was I genuinely failing in some way? Was I misinterpreting his actions? I started doubting my own abilities, my own judgment, and my own perception of reality. In truth, he wasn't helping me at all. He was deliberately pushing me into a state of dependence, making me feel as though I needed his guidance and approval to be good enough. This is the insidious nature of manipulation. It doesn't just disorient you, it erodes your confidence, your self-worth, and your ability to trust your own instincts. Manipulators don't build relationships on a foundation of trust and honesty. They exploit your vulnerabilities, preying on your insecurities and convincing you that only they truly understand you and, therefore, only they can guide you. They create a false sense of dependence, making you believe that you are incapable of navigating the world without their assistance. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the key to combating manipulation is cultivating clarity of mind and unwavering self-control. A truly virtuous person will always guide you toward independence and autonomy, empowering you to make your own decisions and chart your own course. They will never attempt to entangle you in a web of dependence or strip you of your self-reliance. If someone in your life constantly urges you to follow their lead, while simultaneously disregarding your boundaries or personal autonomy, it's a clear sign that you need to step back and reassess the situation. Remember Epictetus's profound wisdom, no man is free who is not master of himself. By refusing to participate in their manipulative games, you reclaim control over your thoughts, your actions, and your decisions. Mental clarity and self-awareness are the most potent antidotes to their toxic influence. You don't need to argue, justify yourself, or attempt to prove your worth. Simply step out of their manipulative grasp and hold firmly onto your freedom. Their power lies in your willingness to participate in their game. Once you refuse to play, their influence diminishes. A mask of charm, deception disguised as affability. Epictetus once astutely reminded us that appearances, no matter how dazzling or alluring, often conceal a starkly different truth beneath the surface. Have you ever encountered someone whose charm seemed almost too perfect, as if meticulously scripted from a movie? Their radiant smile, soothing words, and uncanny ability to make you feel special might seem irresistibly genuine. Everything about them might seem like a flawless performance. However, when you take a step back and observe them with a more critical eye, you might realize that behind the carefully constructed facade lies a motive that is far from genuine. Their charm is not an expression of genuine kindness or empathy, it's a carefully calculated tool designed to disarm you and manipulate you into trusting them. Charm, when used sincerely, is a wonderful and powerful thing. It connects people, builds trust, and creates meaningful relationships. It fosters a sense of warmth and connection, making interactions more pleasant and productive. But in the hands of someone with darker intentions, charm becomes a deadly weapon, capable of inflicting significant emotional damage. These individuals know exactly how to capture your heart, disarm you with their carefully crafted words, and present themselves as the friend you've always sought, the perfect romantic partner, or even a trusted mentor. They skillfully exploit your desire for connection and your willingness to believe in the goodness of others. Yet, their charm is ultimately hollow, like a glossy shell concealing a bitter truth. It lacks the substance of genuine kindness, empathy, and compassion. It's a performance designed to elicit a specific response from you, a means to an end. Marcus Aurelius once warned us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. These individuals don't just manipulate, they use their charm to mask their true nature, selfishness, deceitfulness, and a complete lack of empathy. They understand that people are more likely to trust someone who is charming and affable, and they exploit this tendency to their advantage. Observe how they behave when no one is watching, when they believe they are not being scrutinized. How do they treat those who offer them no tangible benefit? Do they maintain the same level of charm and affability, or does their demeanor shift? Words can be beautifully decorated, but actions paint the truest picture of character. Pay close attention to their actions, as they will often reveal the truth that their words attempt to conceal. I once knew a friend who possessed an uncanny ability to make everyone feel adored. He showered people with compliments, making them believe they were genuinely special to him. He seemed genuinely interested in their lives, always eager to offer support and encouragement. But over time, I realized that he wasn't the person he appeared to be. His praise felt calculated, serving as a tool to extract something in return. He would offer compliments and support, but only when he needed something from the person he was flattering. And when there was nothing left to gain, he quickly distanced himself, often badmouthing the same people he had once flattered. His charm was a facade, a means to an end, a tool for manipulation. So, how do you break free from their enchantment? The first step is to trust your instincts. Don't ignore the subtle warnings in your gut. If you feel charmed yet uneasy, if something about their behavior feels insincere or manipulative, trust that instinct. Your intuition is often more accurate than your conscious mind. These manipulative individuals rely on your willingness to overlook the red flags, to believe in the illusion they've created. They exploit your desire to see the best in people, your tendency to give others the benefit of the doubt. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the truth doesn't need a mask. Genuine kindness shines on its own, without pretense or ulterior motives. It's not something that needs to be manufactured or forced, it's a natural expression of empathy and compassion. So, step past the glittering surface and seek the truth beneath. Authentic goodness doesn't need a disguise. It reveals itself through consistent actions, genuine empathy, and unwavering integrity. Lies without conscience, the erosion of truth. Marcus Aurelius once wisely advised that nothing should be done if it isn't right, and nothing should be said if it isn't true. Yet, for truly malicious individuals, truth is merely an obstacle, a barrier to be overcome in the pursuit of their selfish goals. They don't lie out of carelessness or forgetfulness, they lie because deceit has become their second nature, an ingrained habit that serves their manipulative purposes. Their lies aren't random or accidental, they're carefully crafted with a specific purpose in mind. Whether it's to gain power, evade responsibility, or distort your perception of reality, they use lies as a tool to manipulate and control those around them. Imagine a friend who consistently weaves elaborate tales to gain credibility or sympathy. They embellish their accomplishments, exaggerate their misfortunes, and fabricate stories to make themselves appear more important or more deserving of attention. Once, she convinced you that she single-handedly managed a critical project, claiming full responsibility for its success. She regaled you with tales of her hard work, dedication, and brilliant decision-making. But upon closer inspection, every document and email you reviewed proved otherwise. Her role in the project was minimal, and her claims of single-handed success were patently false. When confronted with the evidence, instead of owning up to her oversights, she accused you of misunderstanding the situation, deflecting attention to unrelated details, and attempting to discredit your sources. This is how master manipulators operate. They make you question your memory, your judgment, and your grasp on reality. They subtly erode your confidence, making you doubt your own perceptions and rely on their distorted version of events. Evil manipulators exploit your uncertainty, convincing you that they know better and that you are incapable of understanding the complexities of the situation. In doing so, they seize control of the narrative, dictating how events are interpreted and ensuring that their lies remain unchallenged. Their lies demand constant upkeep, requiring new layers of deceit to cover the old ones. They must constantly invent new stories, create new diversions, and manipulate new individuals to maintain their web of lies. But herein lies their Achilles heel: truth is resilient, requiring no maintenance, while lies are fragile, constantly at risk of unraveling. The more complex and elaborate the lie, the more vulnerable it is to exposure. A single inconsistency, a single slip-up, can bring the entire edifice crashing down. To protect yourself, pay close attention to inconsistencies in their stories. Do their stories shift under pressure? Are their actions aligned with their words? Do their claims seem plausible, or do they stretch the boundaries of believability? Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on actions, as they reveal a person's true character. Words can be deceptive, but actions speak volumes. When you spot discrepancies between someone's words and actions, trust your observations over their claims. Ask questions, demand transparency, and, most importantly, set boundaries. Refuse to accept vague explanations, evasive answers, or unsubstantiated claims. Insist on clear, consistent, and verifiable information. Honesty isn't just the foundation of healthy relationships, it's a mirror reflecting integrity. And when dishonesty persists, despite your efforts to seek the truth, don't hesitate to walk away. Your peace of mind and your emotional well-being are not worth sacrificing for the sake of maintaining a relationship with someone who consistently deceives you. Stoicism reminds us that real strength lies in mastering ourselves and distancing ourselves from what undermines our values and our peace. It's not a weakness to walk away from a toxic situation, it's an act of self-preservation. So, the next time you encounter someone who lies without conscience, hold your ground, focus on their actions, and safeguard yourself against their web of deceit. Remember that the truth will always prevail, and that you have the power to protect yourself from those who seek to manipulate and control you through lies. Lack of empathy, the void within. Seneca once observed that humans are social creatures, not meant to live solely for themselves. Empathy is the bridge that connects us, allowing us to share in the joys and sorrows of others, to understand their perspectives, and to offer support and compassion. It is the foundation of human connection and the bedrock of healthy relationships. Yet, for the truly malicious, other people are nothing more than pawns in their self-serving games. They do not genuinely care about your happiness or your pain, unless it somehow aligns with their personal agenda. They see others as objects to be used and manipulated, not as individuals deserving of respect and compassion. The lack of empathy is not just a flaw in character, it's a glaring window into a hollow soul. It reveals a profound disconnect from the shared human experience, a detachment from the emotions and experiences of others. Imagine this: you're sitting across from a friend, pouring your heart out about a struggle that's been weighing you down. You're sharing your vulnerabilities, seeking support, and hoping for a sympathetic ear. Instead of offering comfort, understanding, or encouragement, they deflect, minimize your experience, or even express indifference. "Oh, you think that's bad? Let me tell you about my day," they retort, dismissing your vulnerability as trivial and redirecting the conversation back to themselves. Their response is not only insensitive, it's a clear indication of their lack of empathy. This is not an isolated act, it's a pattern of behavior. These individuals are unwilling, or worse, incapable of stepping outside their own interests to connect with your experience. Their detachment manifests in a chilling indifference or even silent delight in your misfortunes, leaving a void where empathy should reside. They may feign concern or offer superficial condolences, but their actions betray their true feelings. They are unable to truly understand or share your emotions, and their responses often feel hollow and insincere. Empathy isn't just a nice to have, it's the cornerstone of meaningful relationships. Without it, interactions become transactional, one-sided, and emotionally draining. Relationships become based on what you can do for them, not on genuine connection and mutual support. Malicious individuals leverage their lack of empathy to further their selfish goals. They may feign compassion when it's convenient, but their apathy becomes evident the moment their mask slips. They will exploit your vulnerabilities, manipulate your emotions, and disregard your needs without a second thought. As Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, no more arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. So, what do you do when faced with such indifference? The first step is to set firm boundaries. Protect your peace and do not allow their coldness to diminish your worth. Refuse to engage in their one-sided conversations, and do not share your vulnerabilities with those who are incapable of empathy. Seek relationships built on mutual respect and understanding, relationships that uplift rather than tear down. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your joy and stand with you in sorrow, because true connection is rooted in empathy, not exploitation. True empathy involves active listening, genuine interest in the other person's perspective, and a willingness to offer support and understanding. It's a two-way street, where both parties feel valued, respected, and heard. Before we move on to the next sign, if you're liking the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel with the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And if you enjoy this kind of content as much as I do, comment, "I see the signs." Let's keep learning. The hunger for control, dominating your world. For a manipulative or malevolent person, control isn't just a habit, it's their lifeline. They crave the power to dominate everything around them, from your relationships and your thoughts to even the smallest of your decisions. Their need for control stems from deep-seated insecurities and a fear of vulnerability. They believe that by controlling others, they can protect themselves from being hurt or exposed. Marcus Aurelius once said that your mind is under your control, not external circumstances. When you realize this, you discover your true strength. But this strength is precisely what malicious individuals seek to strip from you, because they know that controlling your mind is the key to ruling your entire life. They understand that by influencing your thoughts and emotions, they can manipulate your actions and ultimately control your destiny. I once knew someone who initially appeared trustworthy and genuinely helpful. At first, their advice seemed thoughtful and well-intentioned. Over time, however, a troubling pattern emerged. They began inserting subtle undermining remarks into conversations, casting doubt on my decisions and making me feel as though I needed their guidance to make the right choices. They would subtly criticize my ideas, question my judgment, and make me feel inadequate. Their remarks were often disguised as constructive criticism, but their underlying intention was to erode my confidence and make me dependent on their approval. Once, when I was considering joining an important project, they convinced me that I wasn't capable, urging me to let them take the lead. They claimed that I lacked the necessary skills, experience, or confidence to succeed. At the time, I complied because they made me feel incapable of trusting my own judgment. In hindsight, it was clear they simply wanted to keep me under their control, ensuring I would never outgrow them or pose a threat to their position. Their actions were not motivated by concern for my well-being, but by a desire to maintain their own power and control. People like this don't just want to influence your actions, they aim to dominate your thoughts and emotions. They use guilt, shame, or sweet words to make you dependent on them. They exploit your vulnerabilities, preying on your insecurities and convincing you that you are incapable of making sound decisions on your own. They're not invested in your growth, their goal is to keep you within their grasp, subservient to their will. They don't want you to develop your own autonomy or independence, they want you to remain dependent on them for guidance and approval. Over time, you begin doubting yourself, your abilities, and your worth, leaving your autonomy eroded. You start to question your own judgment, second-guess your decisions, and lose faith in your own capabilities. The constant barrage of criticism and undermining remarks slowly chips away at your self-confidence, leaving you feeling insecure and dependent. Epictetus wisely said that freedom is the only worthy goal in life, and that freedom comes from refusing to be controlled by what lies beyond our influence. Malicious individuals know this well, and they'll stop at nothing to imprison your mind. But you don't have to live that way. You have the right to reject their games, to reclaim your autonomy, and to take control of your own life. The first step is to recognize the signs of manipulation and control. Are you constantly seeking their approval? Do you feel anxious or guilty when you disagree with them? Do you feel like you are walking on eggshells around them? Ask yourself, does this align with my values, and use that question as a compass to guide your actions. Trust your instincts, and don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, even if it means challenging their authority. Autonomy is the greatest power you possess, and it's not for anyone to take from you. You have the right to make your own decisions, to pursue your own goals, and to live your life according to your own values. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the quality of our thoughts determines the happiness of our lives. Don't let anyone shape your reality or make you question your value. Protect your mind, it is the starting point of true freedom. Those who genuinely care for you will never try to control you. Instead, they'll empower you to make your own decisions and grow in your own way. They will support your autonomy, encourage your independence, and celebrate your successes. So, stand firm, hold your ground, and let your mind lead you to the freedom you deserve. Don't let anyone dictate your thoughts, control your actions, or diminish your worth. You are the master of your own destiny, and you have the power to create a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and free. Blame games and deflection, evading responsibility. Seneca wisely observed that people often prefer trust over judgment. This is precisely what manipulative individuals exploit to their advantage. They rely on your willingness to trust them, to believe their version of events, and to overlook their flaws. Instead of taking accountability for their actions, they craft elaborate stories that cast themselves as victims in every situation. They skillfully deflect responsibility, shift blame onto others, and create a narrative that exonerates them from any wrongdoing. By blaming others and deflecting responsibility, they not only avoid consequences but also shift the burden onto someone else with an unsettling finesse. They manipulate emotions, create confusion, and exploit vulnerabilities to escape accountability. As Seneca noted, the truth stands firm without justification, while lies always require elaborate stories to sustain them. A lie needs constant reinforcement, constant embellishment, and constant vigilance to prevent it from unraveling. The truth, on the other hand, is simple, direct, and self-evident. Imagine dealing with someone who always evades accountability. Every time something goes wrong, they avoid admitting their mistakes and instead blame you or external circumstances. They are masters of shifting blame, diverting attention, and creating confusion. Once, I worked on an important project with a close friend. When things started going south, rather than owning up to her oversights, she was quick to criticize my organizational approach, leaving me questioning whether I was the problem. She subtly implied that my lack of planning and attention to detail was the root cause of the project's failure. What made it worse was her subtle tone, as if she was merely offering constructive feedback. She presented her criticism as helpful advice, masking her true intention of shifting blame and avoiding responsibility. After multiple instances, I realized I was being manipulated into bearing the brunt of every error. She consistently deflected responsibility, avoided accountability, and blamed me for her mistakes. These individuals excel at crafting narratives that distort reality and cloud your judgment. They manipulate emotions, making you feel guilty even when they are at fault. They rely on your sensitivity and trust to weave a story in which they are always the victim, and you somehow become the villain. They may use guilt trips, emotional blackmail, or even outright lies to shift blame and evade accountability. Their goal is to make you feel responsible for their actions, to manipulate you into taking the blame for their mistakes. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the truth stands on its own. When faced with such individuals, it's crucial to maintain an objective perspective and resist letting emotions dictate your reactions. Stay anchored in facts, and don't hesitate to question or refute false claims. When they try to shift blame, calmly but firmly demand clarity. Ask for specific examples, challenge their assumptions, and insist on verifiable evidence. This approach not only keeps you from falling prey to their blame games but also reinforces your own integrity. To handle such people, establish clear boundaries. Refuse to engage in the psychological games they construct to dodge responsibility. Instead, stand firm in your truth, ensuring they cannot manipulate or distort reality. Integrity and accountability are hallmarks of a strong character. When someone consistently refuses to take responsibility, their true nature becomes evident. Your job is to protect your peace and steer clear of their games. The pleasure of pain, finding joy in suffering. One of the most chilling traits of a truly malicious individual is the satisfaction they derive from others' suffering. They find pleasure in the pain, misfortune, and humiliation of others, and they actively seek opportunities to inflict harm either directly or indirectly. Epictetus wisely advised, associate with those who make you better. Yet, for these individuals, they are not interested in growth or support. They seek opportunities to degrade and find joy in the pain around them. Whether subtle or overt, this toxic pleasure is a clear signal that you should distance yourself. This delight in others' misery often begins with small, seemingly harmless actions. It could be a sarcastic remark, a mocking laugh at someone's misfortune, or a smirk of satisfaction when witnessing someone else's failure. These actions may seem insignificant on their own, but over time, they reveal a disturbing pattern of behavior. Over time, these behaviors reveal their true nature. They don't seek to elevate themselves through hard work or merit but by standing on the shoulders of those they tear down. Their success is not earned through genuine effort but through the exploitation and degradation of others. I once had a friend who reveled in sharing the missteps of others with a strange enthusiasm. She seemed to derive a perverse pleasure from recounting the failures and misfortunes of others, often exaggerating the details and embellishing the stories to make them seem more humiliating. One day, she chuckled and a coworker was publicly reprimanded in the office. Her reaction was not one of empathy or concern but of amusement and satisfaction. At first, I thought it was mere indifference, but as time passed, it became clear this was her way of feeling powerful. She derived a sense of superiority from witnessing the downfall of others. Instead of offering support or empathy, she magnified others' struggles to make herself appear superior. She would gossip, spread rumors, and actively seek out opportunities to undermine the success of others. Seneca once said, "No man is more unhappy than one who never faces adversity." However, for such individuals, adversity isn't a lesson, it's a tool. They do not view challenges as opportunities for growth or learning, they see them as opportunities to exploit and manipulate others. Their joy doesn't come from achieving anything meaningful but from watching others stumble. They sabotage, gossip, or intentionally harm to feed their ego. They derive a sense of power and control from inflicting pain and suffering on others. At the root of this behavior lies deep insecurity. They need others to suffer to feel better about themselves. They lack the inner strength and self-confidence to find happiness in their own achievements, so they seek to diminish the accomplishments of others. But this fleeting satisfaction is just a temporary mask for their inner emptiness. The pleasure they derive from others' suffering is a hollow and fleeting emotion that cannot fill the void within their souls. To counter individuals like this, Stoic philosophy underscores the importance of safeguarding your self-worth and choosing relationships that foster growth. Recognize the signs: their indifference, their enjoyment of others' pain, or their fixation on failures to feel superior. Step away from them, because every moment you spend in their presence is a moment you lose peace and self-value. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, those who celebrate your growth rather than diminish it. These are the people who not only respect you but encourage you to be the best version of yourself. They offer genuine support, honest feedback, and unwavering encouragement. True joy is never built on the suffering of others but on shared success and genuine relationships. It's about finding happiness in your own achievements and celebrating the successes of those around you. It's about building each other up, not tearing each other down. Isolation as a weapon, severing connections. Marcus Aurelius once said that humans are born to cooperate. Our strength lies in unity, shared experiences, and the encouragement of those who care for us. We thrive in communities, supported by meaningful relationships and united by shared goals. But for malicious individuals, this natural order is precisely what they aim to disrupt. They understand that by isolating you from your support network, they can weaken your resolve and make you more susceptible to their manipulation. One of their most potent weapons is isolation. By separating you from loved ones, friends, or support groups, they not only strip away your emotional strength but also make you easier to control and manipulate. They may use subtle tactics to create distance between you and your loved ones, such as spreading rumors, creating misunderstandings, or making disparaging remarks about your friends and family. Their goal is to sow seeds of doubt and distrust, weakening your bonds and making you more reliant on them. I once had a friend who initially seemed genuine and caring. Over time, however, she started making subtle negative comments about people close to me. "Your best friend doesn't really treat you well," she'd say with a serious tone. "Or your family doesn't understand you the way I do." At first, I brushed off her remarks, thinking she was just looking out for me. But as time passed, these comments became more frequent, creating doubt and distancing me from the relationships that had always been my strongest support system. Her approach was gentle yet calculated, effectively isolating me from those who mattered most. She gradually eroded my trust in my loved ones, convincing me that they were not as supportive or caring as I had believed. This tactic is no accident, it's a deliberate psychological maneuver used by toxic individuals to sow insecurity and make you believe they're the only ones who truly care. They create a false sense of intimacy and dependence, making you believe that they are the only ones who truly understand you. The more isolated you become, the greater their control over you grows. They become your sole source of information, your sole source of support, and your sole source of validation. They have effectively cut you off from the outside world, making you completely reliant on them. But here's what they don't want you to realize: true strength comes from connection, from genuine and solid relationships. Unity is the foundation of resilience. The more connected you are to others, the stronger you become. If you start noticing feelings of loneliness or detachment from your loved ones, pause and reflect. Reevaluate the situation. Trust your instincts, and don't hesitate to reach out to those who truly matter to you. Speak to friends, family, and close confidants. They are the foundation that keeps you grounded, even when life feels unstable. They can offer perspective, support, and a reminder of your own worth. Stoic philosophy reminds us that we are not meant to live in isolation. We are part of a larger community, and authentic relationships are where our true power lies. So, don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Protect your connections, and you'll find the strength to rise above any manipulation. Jealousy in disguise, envy masquerading as concern. Envy is a toxic emotion, but it becomes most dangerous when it's disguised as concern or goodwill. When someone is envious of your success, happiness, or achievements, they may try to undermine you while pretending to offer support or advice. Seneca once reminded us that envy is the ulcer of the soul, and for those who harbor it, their advice or attention often isn't meant to uplift you but rather to chip away at your confidence. They cannot stand the happiness or success of others, and they will use subtle tactics to diminish your accomplishments and make you feel inadequate. Such individuals can't stand the happiness or success of others. Cloaked in seemingly helpful advice or compliments, they sow seeds of doubt about your worth. They may offer unsolicited criticism, point out flaws in your plans, or downplay your achievements. I once had a friend who always seemed deeply invested in my achievements. After I completed a major project I was incredibly proud of, she said, "That's great, but maybe next time you should push yourself a bit more to really reach a higher standard." At first, I thought it was genuine advice, but upon reflection, her tone carried an undertone, a subtle cut not to lift me up but to diminish what I'd accomplished. Her words were not meant to encourage me but to make me feel like I hadn't done enough. What seemed like harmless feedback was in reality a way to make me feel like I wasn't good enough. She wanted to diminish my sense of accomplishment and make me feel like I was constantly falling short. These false compliments are often mixed with remarks that undermine. A jealous person won't attack you outright, instead, they plant small doubts in your mind, making you question your capabilities and success. They might say things like, "You did really well, but don't get too excited, there's always room for improvement," or, "That's amazing, but I heard someone else did something similar and got even better results." These remarks are designed to chip away at your confidence and make you feel like you are not as successful as you think you are. This behavior is neither care nor goodwill, it's a strategy to pull you down to their level. Envious individuals cannot celebrate your light because it highlights the shadows within themselves. They don't want to see you thrive, they want to see you shrink, so they no longer feel threatened. They may even try to sabotage your efforts, either directly or indirectly. They may spread rumors, withhold information, or undermine your credibility. Their goal is to make you fail, so they can feel better about their own lack of success. Stoic philosophy teaches us to trust our intuition. If you sense something off in someone's praise or advice, listen to that feeling. Look deeper into the true intentions behind seemingly harmless words. A truly kind person will elevate you, praise you wholeheartedly, and encourage you to go further. They will celebrate your successes, offer support during your challenges, and never try to diminish your worth. In contrast, a jealous person uses their words as tools to control your emotions and chip away at your confidence. They may offer veiled insults, subtle criticisms, or backhanded compliments. Their words are not meant to uplift you but to tear you down. To protect yourself, set clear boundaries and don't let anyone diminish your worth. Surround yourself with those who genuinely celebrate your success, people who not only help you shine but push you to reach new heights. Remember, you don't need to dim your light to make others feel more comfortable. Stand firm in your value, and let your light shine brightly. Don't let the envy of others extinguish your flame. The unrepentant heart, refusing to acknowledge wrongdoing. One of the clearest signs of a truly manipulative or malevolent person is an unrepentant heart. They are incapable of acknowledging their mistakes, admitting their faults, or expressing remorse for their actions. Marcus Aurelius taught that we should not waste time debating what a good person should be but instead focus on taking actions to improve ourselves. He emphasized the importance of self-reflection, personal growth, and striving to become the best version of ourselves. However, evil individuals often do the exact opposite. They cling to destructive habits, never admit fault, and certainly have no intention of repairing the damage they cause. They are unwilling to acknowledge their shortcomings, admit their mistakes, or take responsibility for their actions. They live in denial, justifying their actions with elaborate excuses, making it seem as if the problem never lies with them. They are masters of rationalization, twisting the truth to fit their own narrative. Think of someone you've known, a person who always had an excuse for every mistake. When they hurt others, instead of apologizing, they'd blame the circumstances or argue that others are no better. They deflect responsibility, shift blame, and refuse to acknowledge the harm they have caused. Whenever someone tried to explain how their behavior caused harm, they'd deflect, shift blame, or even accuse the other person of overreacting. They may minimize the impact of their actions, dismiss the feelings of others, or even gaslight their victims into believing that they are imagining things. But what truly stands out is their complete refusal to change. To them, self-reflection and correcting wrongs are seen as weaknesses, while stubbornness is viewed as a strength. They are unwilling to learn from their mistakes, adapt their behavior, or strive to become better people. This mindset starkly contrasts with Stoic philosophy. A Stoic understands that self-reflection, admitting mistakes, and making amends are not signs of weakness but of courage and self-respect. They recognize that personal growth requires honesty, humility, and a willingness to learn from their experiences. Those with unrepentant hearts not only hurt others but also reject the opportunity for personal growth and maturity. They remain trapped in their destructive patterns, repeating the same mistakes and perpetuating the same harm. If you're close to someone who constantly justifies their actions, avoids accountability, and never seeks to repair the harm they've done, take a moment to reflect. Not everyone is willing to grow or change. Protect yourself from toxic relationships like these, and invest your energy in those who lift you up, people with the courage to confront their own flaws and strive to be better. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, focus your mind on thoughts and people who elevate the quality of your life. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, support you, and encourage you to become the best version of yourself. Awareness as your shield, protecting your peace. So, we've just walked through 10 evident signs that there might be a manipulative or malevolent person lurking close to you. Chilling, right? But remember, awareness is your most powerful weapon. Knowledge is power, and by understanding the tactics of manipulators, you can protect yourself from their influence. Evil people can only manipulate you when you're unaware of their tactics. Once you recognize their strategies, you not only protect yourself but also shield your inner peace from their chaos. You can disarm their manipulative tactics and prevent them from gaining control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Marcus Aurelius taught us that true strength lies in mastering your mind and your reactions. Don't let toxic individuals invade your mental space or disrupt your serenity. Refuse to engage in their games, and don't let their negativity affect your own well-being. Set boundaries, stand firm, and keep shining, because your light is the very thing they fear most. Your inner strength, your self-confidence, and your unwavering commitment to your own values are the greatest weapons against manipulation. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment, "I see the signs," to let the world know you're ready to safeguard yourself from negative influences. Share this information with others who may benefit from it. Together, we can create a world where manipulation and deceit have no power. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Many others have faced similar challenges and have found ways to protect themselves from manipulative individuals. Learn from their experiences, seek support from trusted friends and family, and never give up on your quest for inner peace. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where your wisdom will continue to grow. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep protecting your peace.